Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to, well, this portion of the stream.
How's it going? So right now, we're just looking at the pre-stream part.
We're mostly just getting these long shots of the audience who are
Yeah.
taking selfies and panoramas and waving at the cameras. And
So I jumped in there before the end of the timeout because I didn't know how long we were going to be before the actual show started.
Exactly. They're probably rebooting everything at the moment backstage.
And somebody being like, "Why doesn't this work? It worked yesterday." So yeah, we're going to be talking about WWDC 17. There's been a couple different articles on like Ars Technica and different places about like what to expect. But oh yeah, we should probably
Introduce ourselves. I'm Ian.
Ian, I'm Paul.
I'm Ben.
This is other Ben.
Right, a different Ben, not Bengineering Ben, local Ben, Ben from further down south.
And
But
yeah,
no lesser a Ben.
no less of a Ben.
Hey, Bens don't fight. We all get along.
Dogma is also subscribed for 35 months. Not sure how we're going to handle subs for this particular stream,
Yeah, we'll
but
probably do a thing at the
I
end.
think that makes the most sense.
So yeah, there's a couple things. I mean, this is developer conference, right? So, you know, the hardware is not the biggest part of it.
Mm-hmm. Though it's hard to tell these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything is so interlocked as we move further towards the kind of iOS system that, like, naturally the hardware becomes a bigger facet as everything is just so
Well,
so
that's
tightened
exactly
up.
it. If it's for developers, you want if there's new hardware, you need to have
Right.
software to support that hardware, and then you want the developers, as they say, we can't wait to see what you'll make with this.
Right.
Exactly. And that's really what this is about. This is like, usually what happens at these things is like, I'm not that excited about what's delivered. I'm just excited about what being delivered could make. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So, we're not sending the video or the audio out to you. Sadly, we
Check down here.
Yes.
Go there.
go to this URL. We're being safe in that regard. If anybody has any info about whether that's allowed, that would be interesting to know. But
I'm seeing implications here already with the talk of a guy moving into the App Store server room.
Yeah.
Please mean they reset the entire App Store.
so yeah, they're playing a little promo video at the beginning here.
Is this normal for? I usually have tuned in. kinda
Jokey
halfway.
videos are not normal.
Okay.
Like, usually it's an inspiring little thing. Oh, God.
Oh no.
Here at Apple, we know you love your devices and all the apps. And
Yeah.
that's why we're starting fresh.
Right.
Yeah. The entire apocalypse of Apple machinery is only one misplaced plug away.
Right. One idiot employee. Yeah. Are they gonna make the Simpsons callback where he goes, "It's my first day"?
You are useless without us.
Wow.
This is
This is
I
involved
know this
and
is meant to-
expensive.
yeah, and I know that this is meant to be lighthearted, but also, whew.
So, if anyone was worried that Apple was not serious about entering the content making industry, I think here's our answer.
It's the world without the App Store.
No, that's definitely what the iTunes app reminds me of right now.
It's true. It's amazing. As little as 5 years ago, this is what it was actually like.
Wow. Well, I guess we know what we can expect if they ever reboot Escape from New York. Please don't tell me they're rebooting that.
They're just talking about how important apps are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Great. You're literally the thin line between civilization and chaos.
Hey, Tim. Doing that little jog. I like it.
Thank you, Tim.
Tim Cook, everybody's Apple dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm. 15 years ago, that would have been quite different, but
Mm.
despite the size of the text on the screen,
Right.
the biggest.
We've got 5 people.
Wow.
How many of those are shovelware? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like
But how many are shovelware? How many are people who just want early access to iOS builds?
Like, are there 60 million developers? Are there 60,
registered.
are there 60 million apps in the App Store?
No, registered developers means people who have paid the
Mm.
fee to yeah.
That's nice.
That's pretty cool.
That's, yeah, that is actually pretty cool.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Ian. Push you out of the shot there.
No, no. We've got enough space for everyone.
Come on, fart app. So what the fuck
they're-
have you been
We
doing?
don't,
Yeah,
we don't
right.
have to worry about him.
And those apps are probably better than about 80% of the apps on the
Yeah.
store.
Well, and they don't have to worry about him putting a Game Boy emulator inside of one of his apps because he doesn't remember what it is.
Right.
It's true.
Same deal, except she's too old to remember what a Game Boy is.
So I repeat, what have you been doing
Yes.
with yourself?
Also a fart app. Weirdly. Just crosses generational
Right.
boundaries.
Please stand up.
Is that actually true about Mac OS?
That it is the base on.
That everything else is built on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
More specifically, the mock kernel and BSD. But
That makes more sense.
Yeah, so they're talking about how all their stuff is based on tvOS, watchOS, macOS, and iOS. Based on the same stuff.
oh man, we've got a full content board
Wow.
here then.
Yeah. This
Usually they spend like half an hour talking about like
right. So this is the point
stats and
where I
stuff.
just have to say I really appreciate that his whole look is just very clean, streamlined,
Oh,
and stays
yeah.
out of the way.
It is tight.
We're not going to see a lot of. Yeah. These are not historically known for fashion, and that's fine. I just appreciate his stuff fits.
Yeah. Fits while not being the black turtleneck and the you know.
I mean, you know, Steve had his own thing going,
Mhm.
and yeah, those were not cheap turtlenecks. Were they Yamamoto, I think?
I was just reading about that. And, yeah.
So expensive.
And he had him copy something else that he liked.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Is
Well,
it coming
I'm
in
glad the two
Canada?
of you stopped fighting because it was really annoying.
Is it coming to Canada?
I hope. But
'Cause-
probably not.
Amazon Prime Video was released was like allowed as part of Prime in Canada about 6 months ago,
Right.
but there are no actual
There's
apps for
nothing.
any devices.
Of course. Yeah.
Like there's an app for the
Yeah.
PlayStation and for the Xbox, but it's just
Well,
not in the Canadian store.
So terrible. I'm glad that it's coming, the Amazon thing, because, I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, Amazon was basically pulled all of the Apple stuff out of spite to try and push their own Amazon Fire garbage, and it's just not working.
Yeah. So
it's
Apple
my
Emoji Watch.
from my understanding, it's the best-selling watch period outside of Rolex.
That's not surprising.
Or maybe it's just in a certain price tier.
Yeah.
But it's-
Well, I mean, when you're looking right, because it's not really in the same tier as like
Seiko,
right, a
Yeah.
Psycho or Timex that you buy from
Walmart.
right, Walmart or what is your store here that has got tires in the name but isn't actually
Canadian
a tire?
Tire.
Canadian Tires. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Store with
for
the-
stuff, not tires.
is this just a weird crowd from here? They're broadcasting Keynote
No,
CinemaScope?
that's CinemaScope. It
It
looks
is
like.
quite wide, yeah.
Hmm.
It means that they can
Oh.
do
Keep the
they can do widescreen slides. Well, I wonder if that's it. Okay, so we're talking Watch OS 4 now.
I'd like to look at the sunset. It has set.
Yeah,
I
I,
wanna-
actually had this moment of is that on my what's on my, and then I realized it just looks like I don't have much information on it other than the time and next appointment.
Okay, I think Siri's going to get a big upgrade this year.
Oh boy. Well, there was the running thing about basically the Siri speaker
Yeah.
for home.
But
So
without actually upgrading Siri herself to actually be useful,
right.
that's not going to be useful. Yeah. She's going to get better than Alexa and Google Home to be worth purchasing.
Oh no, that's depressing. The idea that it will be like, well, this is your normal routine, laid bare for me.
I mean, I've already had started to notice that on the phone.
Right.
These
Oh, for
suggested
sure.
apps, like I'm getting up, I'm walking out the door, and I'm about to hit Twitter. Oh, there's a suggested app.
Yeah.
It's like the old Netflix suggestion thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss ruining that for people. You stay at someone's house and then you go 5-star a bunch of things you know they'd never watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually playing a game yesterday in which you get to control the sunrise and sun. Like you actually have a thing that controls the cycle of the day.
No, it's your watch
The
dial.
digital
Yeah.
crown.
Apple. Work on that, Apple.
Yeah.
You
Your
don't
personal sun.
it's not
in
just
your cubicle
digital.
prison.
We wanted to control everything, so we've made it a universal crown.
Oh.
Kaleidoscope.
Huh.
It's a nice little fidget spinner type thing.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay. There's now banner feature, kaleidoscope face, Mickey Mouse
The
face.
kaleidoscope face sounds like a low-tier tick villain.
Well, hold on. More characters have been trying to work their way in. You mean you have more of a licensing deal for these
Yeah.
characters? But that's cool. Like, even the 10-year-old developer here knows that's bullshit.
Come on. Lightning the Queen
It's cute, though.
face or Riot.
And I wonder how much of this is leading up to here's a new revision of the watch hardware.
They said Siri face, and I was all excited. It's like, this is what Siri looks
Yeah.
like.
Oh, no.
See
No,
the
no, no.
face of Siri.
Siri is a constantly evolving kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
That sounds...
It's just
appropriately
like,
horrifying.
yeah, just with like kind of eyes and a mouth.
What was that old game where David Bowie voiced the computer AI? Omni something? I can't remember.
No, I know the one.
But yeah, that's immediately what my brain went to, which
Horrifying.
is, I guess, better than going to System Shock.
Activity.
I was thinking more of a Nagilum, but
Omnicron, I think that's it. Mayverse, thanks. Yeah,
we were making
Omicron.
We were making fun of Johnny back at during Desert Bus because we walked down to get lunch somewhere and his phone beeped and was like, "This is the longest walk you've ever done."
Oh, Johnny.
And it was like 100 meters or something.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Right, because
Now you swim a bunch, but you have a first gen.
yeah, yes. So I would definitely love these new features in the Apple Watch series too.
That's just before you jump in. Your phone goes, no, help! Your watch is help. I'm not the new phone. I'm not the new watch. Help!
I know better than it does. Yeah. That guy in the upper left is very aspirational.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
If you like to do more than one workout in a row, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you making apps?
Looks like a new typeface, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of this is presentation for the developers, and some of it is obviously for us.
Mm-hmm.
Would you call us pundits? I cringe at that word. But yeah,
I do like the.
I guess that's better than plebes.
I like to laugh at being a pundit.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Ooh. That.
It's spiffy diffy.
Yeah.
It comes at a very interesting point.
Yeah,
It's
well,
gonna be like
one. It immediately makes me go, I'm kind of glad Apple's doing this.
Yeah.
That this is technically probably an extension of what they've done with HomeKit,
Mm-hmm.
because they care about the security.
Yes, they
Because
yeah.
the Internet of Things is really dangerous. But that's really interesting, and I expect all of those machines to be unbelievably expensive for gyms.
Well, I was gonna say there's gonna be like 2 gyms in New York that have them.
Yeah.
That are like right around the corner from the Apple
But
store.
This also comes after a recent story that about the accuracy of a lot of trackers, be they on gym equipment or on wrist, and that Apple is the watch is one of the few ones that is the
heart rate
yeah.
is accurate. The other stuff,
Is
the
just a
calorie
guess.
thing, is all garbo.
Yeah.
Because you can't know just from here, but the heart rate is kind of
Something you can,
important
actually.
for workouts. So. Okay. Yeah. Expanding all of this really feels like a lead up to we're beefing up the hardware in addition to the software.
I mean, I know James has talked about how that the earpods are totally
they're perfect.
They're the way to go. Yeah.
I do prefer that.
I just want the like
Take that jacket. Sorry.
as somebody who as you know, I'm always thinking about like streaming tech and stuff. It's like I really want the version of the phone that's got the video out port on it that they're using on stage right now. The video of the watch with the version of the watch with video out.
Yeah.
That seems sweet.
Yeah, that whatever that cable is, that's clearly what you need.
Yeah. This is interesting though, because they're talking about vertically like swiping through stuff, where they have been talking about that everything's supposed to be on the digital crown,
right?
And I guess they've reevaluated that a little bit. Yeah.
Nobody wants to use this versus just swiping. Which kind of makes sense. This is a more fiddly experience, and this is a little clunkier, so it gives you more room for error.
I'm at least happy that they allow us to use both methods of input.
Watches don't have AirPlay? I'm pretty sure they don't. I mean, I don't think you need to, I don't think there are any games on watchOS that we want to stream like right now, but who knows? I'm sure there's some rhythm games on there.
Right. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe their idea is that you would throw to an Apple TV and then stream from that. Seems a little kludgy, though.
I'm not able to stream to our Apple TV in the office here, but
I do kind of dig that font that they're using, though. That sort of...
It's like a San Francisco
That's
extra
good.
mold rounded.
Now
yeah, it's just... Yeah.
That's solid integration, having the workout, and then that you can just real quick move over and be like, no, I don't like the song that I put in this playlist for workout.
Swipe right over.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Tinder. Which one? Swipe left is no, and swipe right is yes? I don't know.
I don't know. I just got the joke that the sous vide app we have on our phones is named Tender.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Yep.
So blinking...
oh, thank God.
Well, that's neat. Core Bluetooth.
Well, it means that the Apple Watch can communicate directly to other things out there,
Right.
rather than having to go through your phone.
Yeah. I mean, and I think, that was sort of always the plan, was that the watch wasn't going to be tied to the phone forever. It was just sort of a stopgap.
It was a question of, right.
I don't want to have to pay for cellular contact on my watch.
Yeah, you don't want to, but you worry that it is coming.
Yeah, I'm really worried.
Because, the moment that they put that in the watch, yeah.
It's interesting they're using numbers too here.
Right, even though it's not the heart and soul anymore.
Well, here comes James for the Mac announcements.
Yeah, good timing.
James. That's fair, I think. So
No, it's absolutely fair. I mean, yeah, it's also like, you won't let anybody make a Mac. You know?
Like, there's kind of a reason that it's the most integrated.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is Craig.
And then just right off the stage at the...
It's got very high pants.
I mean, high-waisted is way more comfortable, honestly. So, does not surprise me. I'm okay if they all dress like my dad.
It's nice that he's rocking the pocketless shirt, though.
It looks like it's a non-iron.
Oh,
like it's got that sheen.
100% non-iron.
Yeah.
The idea...
You already did that.
Oh boy.
What the...
Get it, guys? Legal weed.
I guess they're doing the snow leopard thing.
Yep.
Wow.
Not Craig.
Well, at least we know they're not only dressed like our dads, they make the same jokes.
Yeah. Okay.
macOS 10.420. Safari's a good browser, guys. Based on Jetstream SpeedMaker.
Yeah.
All right.
Jetstream.
Sure.
Yeah. Small point here. I do wish that their teleprompter was at eye level because he keeps looking down and to the side, and
like he's looking at his mother.
Yeah.
Kind of.
If only there were a plugin for this in Chrome. Wait, we're talking about Safari. My bad.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, I do like that.
Yeah. Where's your ad blocking? I mean, that's always a
That's coming to
thing,
Chrome
but-
too, which is
Oh, I
interesting.
know.
And that's
well. It's just
I
that
feel
like
comfortable about
at some
that.
point it's that thing where you don't want to block ads, but you need to block the sort of aggressive overreach of malicious ads.
Yes.
And it is trying to find that fine line of not cutting out people's advertising, but preventing them from effectively running malware on your system.
Okay, so
Tracking prevention. It's interesting.
I'm good with that.
It's that
Yeah.
interesting.
And honestly, that autoplay on the video thing,
Oh, yeah.
like
well, that was
in
something.
full
that
agreement.
was,
That's like, I'm super glad that is getting baked into a default.
That was something you could turn on via developer tools, but it was a super hacky thing. But now having it rolled over is, it's nice of them to
That's
do
also nice to see coming in the face of, well, in the States anyway, our FCC problems.
Oh, yeah, with the tracking.
Well, with an ex-Verizon lawyer running, you know, the FCC and
It's-
rolling back regulations, and also refusing to do anything about the astroturfing of comments that came in, like, and also they won't provide any proof that they actually were DDoS'd when it looks way more likely like they just yanked the plug, so that
They can't receive any more. If you can't.
Yeah,
receive
I mean it's
comments-
back up, but like they did it after last week tonight, and there was a huge storm, so.
Oh well.
So
we missed
iPhotos
out.
getting updated, or photos now.
Right, it's just photos.
It's hard to get people like excited about mail improvements. It's like it's mail,
Right. It's mail. We know you kind of don't use it. We know you use a different app already.
or at least you have to use it.
It's
It's
like-
also yeah.
It's a fine app. This is unfortunately.
Hold on. What do those descriptors really mean? Advanced. What was it?
Convolutional neural networks.
networks. Convolutional neural.
Isn't convolutional just like really
Right.
complicated?
Just another way to say like they're very complex. Neural networks are generally complex. Like if they do anything good.
The problem with neural networks is that may actually be a term of art.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Photo hat color changer.
But how have you made it faster? Fine.
So you can read Photoshop's format?
Okay.
No, I think it exports your adjusted version to Photoshop. Probably using PNGs. Cool.
No, I want to know about file system for iOS, not Mac OS.
Actually, I'm very excited about Apple File System.
Ooh, that's actually
That's a big change.
yeah, that's a big deal.
Well, they've already done their test bed, and that was the iOS.
HFS was fine for 30 years ago, and it's fine now.
Right, but
Give me that old time file system.
We don't want copy on write.
So it's bringing in a lot of the ZFS type stuff.
Yeah. Well, was that a dubbed in?
yeah,
That was really weird.
that was very strange.
Are they running on a tape delay?
I mean, it's entirely possible.
That could explain the 3 to 5 minutes.
I mean, the thing that's interesting here that they're clearly not getting into, because we're watching. What I want to know is how much of that file system is basically optimized for solid state. Because I imagine most of it is at this point.
Oh yeah.
Because there's iMacs, I guess, are the only thing that still have
And even
platter
then,
drives, and those are still hybridized.
yeah. Oh, good. We're getting H.265, which is
H.265.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than H.264, right?
it's.
I mean, it is. I have
1/265th faster,
yeah.
I've
obviously.
I have worked with H.265 files.
The hardware acceleration is the big thing
Yep.
there. Because the H.265, it's like VLC,
it'll
has
thrash.
supported that for a while, and it's rad. Like space saving is great on it, but yeah.
It thrashes your processor.
I don't know if I've ever actually encountered H.265 in
I
a
have
while.
just
I've
a little bit.
Played
yeah.
a few files that when I downloaded them I thought were too small.
Huh.
Yeah,
It's
but the
that
quality
dramatic.
Is, yeah. It's significant.
Wait, there we go.
Thanks, Mulatto Tech.
Sure.
We have that.
Yeah, it comes with the heart. Right.
Yeah. We didn't buy it. It comes with
Right.
the camera.
It comes with the camera. Right.
I do like how metal the M in metal is.
Mm.
Metal!
Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, honestly, I'm still excited about this. I'm still excited about their GPU movement forward, in addition to the beta drivers from NVIDIA for, like the 10 series, and the fact that, like, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Gigabit has, I think it's a 1080 card and an enclosure that they just sell all together, and it's actually cheaper than buying them separate, and is a Thunderbolt 3 plug. So it's like, as we start hitting very rapidly, we're going to have laptops that will see more updates, but fundamentally will last you longer on the video performance, because you can use a Thunderbolt 3 acceleration.
I know, yeah.
This is interesting.
Sorry.
Here we go. So your point, very cogent. But now
That's
having,
right.
they were just talking about integrating metal into, or neural networks and machine learning into metal, which, again, points to better Safari.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. This is what I was talking about.
Oh, that's
Thunderbolt 3. Yeah.
It's interesting because I remember them talking about that 3 or 4 years ago when Thunderbolt first came out. They're like, this was a theoretical possibility.
Yeah.
But the bandwidth wasn't quite there.
Yeah. But Thunderbolt 3
Whoa,
and USB-C. Yeah.
But they're going with an AMD.
Yeah.
Also, get a USB-C hub.
Right. Well, I mean, just at the end of the day, I think AMD is more thirsty to make deals with Apple.
Yes.
And NVIDIA is like, you know what?
Well, there's still
We're already the flagship for PC, and we're the flagship for a lot of other stuff.
and there's some bad blood there too.
Ooh.
Of course.
So,
Yes. Good.
okay, good.
Into it. Also, really looking forward to Gen 2 of the Vive stuff, because... Yes.
Interesting.
Wait, editing inside the environment?
Wait, you go into like Final Cut VR
Final
world?
Cut, yeah, Final Cut Minority Report.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, somebody's like, done. You're like, whoa!
Yeah.
3D crap shots. Yeah. Yeah, I mean
some of this really makes me feel for the developers who are going to have to work overtime to roll stuff over.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I am legitimately excited for this because even the MacBook Pros that released end of last year are more than powerful enough to manage all of this stuff. This is clearly a thing of like our baseline that we now have installed can handle this.
I mean, the joke is that about a little while ago, the guys from Oculus were like, the reason why we don't have an Oculus dev kit for Mac is because there aren't any Macs that have good enough graphics cards.
That was specifically Palmer, and fuck that guy. You know, if you haven't seen what he's up to post Oculus, I'm gonna focus on this. But fuck that guy.
So we're about to hit hardware.
I love the touch bar, but I really want them to release the touch bar like as a separate
thing.
Either as a separate thing or like a keyboard or something that can do on a desktop system. Every Mac includes 500 nits inside the case.
Don't open the case.
Please don't open the case. It's part of the DRM system. That seems...
Sure, of course, Cabby Leg.
That seems too bright. So, iMac speed bump is interesting. Wow.
Good.
All the stuff I was reading said no new hardware. That's actually interesting.
Well, there was a thing about they were going to introduce basically an iMac that kind of was a holdover until they got to the Pro redesign, because they started paying attention to people who use Pros normally going, what is fucking wrong with you? We needed an actual Pro. Also, you haven't refreshed it in years.
I mean, we're in the same situation now where now it's even more so that the iMac is the highest end computer that they produce.
Yeah, it is a little...
Well, like the iMacs were already outperforming the Mac Pros.
Yeah, for single-threaded things, you couldn't beat them.
It is also interesting to see that basically the iMac, it's like, well, we're going to keep the legacy USB ports, and then we'll give you two Thunderbolt 3 ports, where the laptop, we just stripped everything out and put these in.
And Thunderbolt 3 and USB-C is the same port, right?
They're the same connector. Thunderbolt 3 is like, it's like twice the bandwidth, I think. I think USB-C is like 10 gigabit and Thunderbolt 3 is like 20 or...
But you can plug USB-C directly into Thunderbolt.
Right. Yeah. But that's an easy...
There we go. Well, that's...
good. Because it needs it.
That one guy is super happy.
Yeah.
4 gigabytes of VRAM. Sure.
Those are fine.
Three times faster than the Intel built-in graphics.
I liked it. We got a pan of like the dude checked out looking at his phone. For our Pro customers, exactly. Like that's what these are. This is, well, we're not going to give you a Pro yet, but here's a thing that is sort of a Pro, but not really.
Hopefully this will hold you over.
.5 teraflops.
Sure.
Like, does
Oh,
Steam
guys, I really hope you're going to use mixed reality on this.
does like Steam VR work on Mac?
Well, that was what they were talking about earlier, is that Steam is bringing the Steam VR
Oh, okay.
API to Mac.
This guy kind of looks like George Lucas.
Yeah, a little bit.
A big deal.
Unreal. Oh, she's doing the green screen thing.
Yep.
Good.
You're gonna get what
Yeah.
you want.
Yes. I mean, thank you. Because this is how
This is
VR
how you
has to
sell
be
people on
presented.
VR.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
don't
none
say.
of the other. Okay.
They're switching
Right,
it
no,
back.
that's-
They'll switch it back.
I
and
know
forth.
they will. They don't set up a room like that for no. Thank you. Stay here.
One of these days, we're gonna figure. I'm gonna start streaming like this. Just imagine you like
Yeah.
land and then just kind of
Yeah.
tips over.
Yeah.
it's the physics. What?
Yeah.
She's huge.
Now pick that thing up and chuck it across the room. Sorry. That's.
Yeah. Just falls down into the sub ocean.
This is not canon.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
No.
this is definitely Legends content right now.
Oh,
I mean, obviously
the
this
Eye of
is
Sauron, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
Luke
right.
Skywalker.
obviously this is highly choreographed.
Oh, sure. I mean, they've definitely rehearsed this. Like, you don't. Yeah. You aren't part of this keynote without rehearsing what you're doing.
I
Oh, God. Well. Like, it's fine when they're giving a presentation, but when they have a back and forth and it's been scripted, it always comes out bad.
it's still better than the like E3
No. It's way
The-
better than
the
don't-
like
don't get me
fake
wrong.
trash talking each other while they're
E3's
playing game on
yeah,
stage. That's the
E3
worst.
presentations are the fucking worst when it comes to that. But like,
I just kind of want I want to plug into Steam VR that just makes Vader stand in like the corner watching whatever I'm doing all the time.
yeah, just judging you.
Yeah. Well, she's dead now.
I mean, I'm glad that they're getting to this.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Please cut away. Please cut away.
I mean, it's cool in the sense of like being able to do that there
Right.
means that in, a
right?
few years we'll be able to actually do it for in a situation that isn't very
Right.
tightly scripted like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if what that results in is level design artists being able to sort of walk the floor, and then resize and look at how everything is done and kind of place that stuff through VR, I think that's a huge win for gaming in general because
it could be very interesting. Yeah.
Hands-on sense of it. But yeah, I mean, as stilted as that was, I think it hints at things we will see trickle into everything more than it is like this is an experience we're all going to have immediately because that's a lot of money to drop on an experience.
Again, this is a developer conference.
Right.
This is for the people who make the levels that people will eventually play on the PlayStation VR or what have you.
That's a good.
That's not a bad price.
That's way better than I expected, to be honest. I want to know what the kitted out versions of these are because that's all bottom end.
Bumping the notebooks as well. Oh no.
MacBook. Those are the two
Pro.
13s, and then that's the 15.
Yeah.
Heather just got a new laptop.
Yep.
Well, hers was a refurb anyway, though, so she already got a good deal on it, so it's probably okay.
The ones that are out right now are
so faster.
fine.
Does that mean were they already on M2 solid state drives, or are they moving to that?
I think they have to move to that because with file system issues.
Oh, well, that would do it. Yep.
So why would we be buying the MacBook? Isn't it the same price now?
Portability?
Yeah, I mean it's. Oh, so that's not dead yet. I thought for sure that was.
Yeah. No.
Text Beach.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Beach.
Sorry, Beach. It happens. Also,
Such is the way of
it's
things.
still gonna be fine.
It's a very good processor, and it's not your computer.
You got to jump into the market whenever you got to jump into the market.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
We're not going to see Mac Pro for
Well, he said
sale. but
this stuff is all available today, but
Oh, here we go.
yeah.
It's just a breakout box?
Maybe?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the iMac Pro. Yeah.
It's still an all-in-one, though?
Mm-hmm. Which
The
is kind of
fudge?
not what...
Well, let's see what it is, what the form it takes. The form appears to be very similar.
Let's grunge
Oh.
that guitar up.
Oh. New
Oh, well, it's
keyboard.
black. Clearly it's Pro. But the
Okay. Show me something.
iMac Pro.
Okay.
Scheisen.
What does that mean?
Like a 5K, 27-inch 5K display costs like $1,000.
Right.
I don't want to keep buying those.
You don't want to keep buying those and have them attached to obsolete hardware.
Exactly.
And then have to reroute around that, like...
Well, especially the graphics card.
Sure.
Processors have been
Hey,
fine, but
they're made environmentally friendly, but also every time you buy a new one, you've got a big piece of garbage. Like...
okay, your fan solution is not what we want to know about.
Good job. You've succeeded in amazing feats of technical...
Hey, you know... Yeah.
Amazing technical expertise in fitting stuff that shouldn't be in such a small
Right. Hey
container.
guys, what about thermals?
Just make it a little bigger.
Are we thinking i9?
That's a lot of shit to crack. Okay. All right. I mean... Yes.
Okay.
Right.
More?
12 cores.
How hot is that case going to be? I don't care about your thermals. It's still such a small...
So we are getting the i9 series in there.
That is a lot of cores.
So is that liquid cooled, or do you just have to have, like, an air vent to the outside? Like...
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All you do is you take the heatsink and put it into a container of liquid nitrogen that you have handy beside your computer.
That's fine.
Yay. What
So
else
many
is in
flops.
the system? What else? We
Half. Doesn't that mean it's less precise?
Oh, yeah, we're having shitty answers doesn't matter.
right.
Half precision.
Good.
Right.
Good. Well, also,
This
it's
is
ECC.
not going to be a cheap machine,
No.
even on the base level.
But this-
Unless their base level is like, well, here's 8 gigs of RAM.
This is exactly what John Syracuse wants if he didn't know that an actual Mac Pro was coming.
Right.
But is this it?
No, this is...
No.
This has to be just
Okay,
there.
I mean, sure, fine. I get that this is a stopgap, but
Yeah.
you've got...
Again, that's fine. This is good, but this is not the end.
Like,
Dual solid-state modules, yeah. 2 Thunderbolt controllers, that's good.
Important.
'Cause, yeah.
a 1080p FaceTime camera isn't impressive. Why did they mention
Yeah,
that?
it's not...
Oh, the f2.2 lens on it was...
Right,
Nice.
that's...
I
but-
guess.
Right, but again, it's one of those
But-
things where it's like it's lost on most people because they go, oh, 1080p, it's more than 720.
Yeah.
Also, hey, you know what pro users really need to be able to do?
It's
Video
FaceTime.
conference at higher resolution than
Yeah.
regular users.
Or video conference, period,
Yeah.
on their workstation.
I mean-
Now, if they use that camera in the same way that Sony uses the PlayStation camera for VR
Mhm.
fiddly bits, that's one thing, but
Could be useful. Huh.
It's not bad.
for a workstation, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
again,
mean, obviously you could probably put it up to like 15 grand or something.
yeah, so that's going to be the low. Well, he already listed the specs, but
Yeah.
that's not their top end.
But like, why not just
But-
take that and not put the display on it?
Mm-hmm.
It's be so simple.
Well, if they do that with the Pro, that will be very smart.
And just add
If like
some
their
more
next
upgrade
iteration
stuff.
is like
Slots.
we will. Well, I think they're going to fixate a lot on Thunderbolt 3, but if they just allow some basic concessions, like but again, that might be the thing is by that point, the plug in an external graphics unit might be kind of a standardized thing for them. And then for them to be like, well, no, here you go. Here's this box that is basically, like an Apple TV, a little bigger, and then you just plug in all these daisy chain boxes that take up the rest of the space of your desk.
I think
That's what they have now. That's
Yeah,
like, that's what
they
they
have that. I think if they did that, they would get a lot of backlash from their actual pro users.
Right.
Because
But that's the way they're clearly wanting to move their whole thing, and that's why I don't know what they're actually going to do. They're not going to give you a tower in the same way that they used to.
I agree, but I also don't. If they were doing that, they would have their own Apple box with slots in it. I think they want to be away from slots completely. But
no, I think
they
so
need
too.
them. So I
Well,
think we'll see
and
that.
I'm sure part of that is the idea of like, well, if we just have this port that has all the bandwidth, then the device can be redesigned and configured, and then like we can just make like, here's a GPU upgrade,
Yeah, and that
instead
just
of
goes
here's
to
a
this.
slot that anybody can make and that we don't really get a cut of.
Yeah.
All right, he's back for iOS 11.
Oh, dads.
We really need to switch to Tim for that. Okay.
Well, he's He's the separator between.
I guess so. Yeah, it just seems weird to.
I agree.
It's like the Encore where they just go off and come back on.
Right. Where it's like we all know this game. Yeah.
Voltron. That's our Tim. Wait, no. This is Craig.
Is this you can send a Starbucks gift card to somebody?
Yeah. As a sticker. That's something you can do today, Paul.
Ooh. Too bad I don't want to give Starbucks gift card to anybody, but you know.
I thought that was the way it was before.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey, it's a thing. I thought it did, but it doesn't really do. All right.
That just. But what if I want to search every single message I've ever sent, which I do often, and it doesn't work?
Good.
They're all on my phone.
Next. Nope, he's done. He's done, Paul. That's all we get.
There's third-party apps that can download your whole message history and search it, but for some reason you can't actually do it on your phone. I should
Whole
probably
Foods
get on that.
And Walmart? No. That would be 80%, I guess. Ooh, the final frontier. Oh, you want some of that sweet square cash cut. Yeah.
You know what? I'll give it to him.
I mean, hey, if I know that it's actually secured,
Yep.
fine.
And the fewer apps that I need.
That is also great.
Yep.
I'm straight up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is legitimately fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course it's crib. Chad is pointing out, Android Pay. Like, of course it's stolen from Android. That is kind of their whole MO. Is like, oh, someone else did a cool thing. What if we integrated it into our stuff?
This is what every computer maker does.
Right.
And I mean, it's not even really like this. It's not really like stealing in the sense that it's just the standard.
Right.
It's the next logical step for a payment system.
Yeah. It is.
But
other people have made third-party versions of this stuff on Apple. It's integrated into a different platform.
PayPal exists. Square Cash. Yeah.
So those would be the pins, by the way, that everybody gets.
Okay.
Coming to the developers conference. Yeah. Like.
Here we go.
Deep learning.
Oh, she got younger.
Well,
can I make it more robotic?
Yeah.
I would like it to.
Can I have Majel Brett Roddenberry yet?
I want the Canadian one to have like a really thick Newfie accent.
Okay, that's good. You're catching up.
I hope that's right.
Yeah, I hope that is correct. I'm sure the accent is probably embarrassing.
So I guess the idea is you could type that in and then like hold it up to a person.
Well, the idea is you just speak it right into the. Yeah. How do you say this in Chinese, and then hold it up?
Right.
Right. That could be super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's one of those things that you can do in another app, but now it's just integrated right to the root level. This is good.
This is all really good. Like, that integration is a thing that it has desperately needed for a long time. Oh, Twitch does have a restream.
I mean, it's not a.
It's not an official.
It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not an official thing. But yeah, you can watch
Sure
that
it
if you
is.
want.
Yep. Oh, I cannot wait to confuse the hell out of my phone.
Learning about a news?
Yes.
I would like to learn about a news.
Siri won't tell.
That
So
matters.
tell Siri
does
all your
matter.
secrets.
It matters a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But like also when they say end-to-end encryption, there are times when I'm like, yes, but what kind of encryption? Like, because you could be using shitty. I know they're not, but
Yeah.
you know.
But still, that's.
But it's the like
It's-
I would like to be reassured by the level of encryption that
Yeah.
you are.
I'm sure it's the kind of encryption we want, but it'll be listed on a web page later.
Right. Yeah. 10 pages down.
Yeah.
In the 7th footnote. Hey.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
Oh, is that you? 265?
what is HVC different than 265?
HEVC is H265.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's just confusing.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they have to do this because
Yeah.
they want to push to better
Yeah,
optics.
and things are so
Yeah.
big. But essentially, it's just FLAC for images.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the portrait mode thing. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's neat hybridization of.
Good.
I like that quilted bomber. That's good. Ha ha. Artistic, we put a dog in it.
Why did that need the depth API? Isn't that just sticking a dog in the photos?
Right. Yeah.
What has he got with
the
What's he got
memories.
with adding dogs into things?
Don't know.
Dog wedding, dog anniversary,
Mhm.
dog baby.
Dog winter fun.
To iOS 11, the dog edition.
Memories of your babies. It's really great.
Second anniversary.
Like, that was just. Wow. Yes, good.
This is everything I've always wanted.
This is how it should have been from the start.
Weird calculator?
Yeah,
Major
it's like,
redesign.
hey, major redesign that we cribbed from Android. That Android had what,
Since
5
the
years
beginning.
ago?
Yeah, we're gonna finally be
Easily.
into the custom.
Yeah. Ah.
Ooh, fancy.
Hmm.
Oh, those are the. Oh, I don't know about those sliders there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about.
That is.
mean,
That's a whole new thing. and
honestly,
I'm not a fan.
I never use the slider for those. I'm just using the buttons on the side, but that's nice to have.
Yeah, the
right
tap
there.
to get at the full screen is, but
I mean, I like the idea of it being there, but that's a weird.
Oh,
right. So you, it's interesting. It's a little bit of a wash in that, like, you're, how many steps are you going through
Yeah.
to drill
Yeah.
down to the control you want?
I hope that that particular slider widget is not the new standard.
Try again. Right, so you don't have to relock your phone to go to the... I get it. Yeah, yeah. Skateboarders!
Oh, okay, this is just demoing the thing that you
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about.
and just pick the still. I mean, good. That level of control needs to be there.
I've never actually used the live photos thing.
I just always accidentally keep taking them.
Yeah. It's fun when you have relatives who don't know that it's on, and so they send you, like, live photos of, like, food.
Oh, nice.
Things like that. Yeah.
Time stop.
No?
No, it wouldn't.
Guys, there are people who are way better at this than you are, and they were all Vine stars.
But Vine doesn't exist anymore.
They'll work for cheap right now.
No, actually, they wanted to get compensated for, which is why Vine was like, nope, we can't be bothered. Even though they were like, hey, we know exactly how to fix all of this. But, you know, hey, Twitter, they know what they're doing.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. Long exposure, very nice.
Likes are now Forbes. Oh God, what is it going to
More important than the children or your anniversary, of course.
Yep. Dogs. We'll see dogs.
This is an auto-generated...
Yep. That's kind of cool.
No, it's a nice touch. It's like, hey, if you're going to keep taking photos like this, I guess we're going to accommodate.
Oh, jeez, what did...
Oh,
Did it, like, come...
Craig is really freaking out right now.
Craig lost his mind.
He created his own loop.
There it is.
It's like, it looks like the...
Yeah, please.
Sorry. Our thingamajiggy messed up there. I think we're good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I don't use the news app though, because the moment I accidentally opened it once, it started slamming me with updates about news that I need to control my intake of.
So we don't have news in Canada yet as an app.
You're not missing anything.
To be honest, I'm just seeing this based on the like system. What's going to happen is I'm going to like a few things, and then I'm going to start to get articles written about Japan by white people.
Well, this is the fundamental problem that the internet has about attention and what you're interested in. But there was an article, and somebody's condensation of it was basically, when you're driving and there's a car crash, everyone slows down.
Yeah.
To look, because you're there and it's there and you just kind of wind up doing it. But the internet is built on the idea of like, oh, you looked at this thing, you want to see all of this thing. And it's like, no. Just because sometimes I read about terrible stuff doesn't mean you need to flood me with all of this. Like, that's too much.
It's
like
a fundamental misunderstanding of why you're interested in things. Like my problem with the Apple Music is that I keep getting covers of Japanese music by white people, not because that's what I want,
but because you
that's
have
what's
a few, and that's what's there on the store.
Exactly, because that's what's available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like chat, fundamentally it is the problem with everything on the internet, because that's the only way that they think to filter, rather than like, well, this is a little out of, like, they just don't know how to not do that, because they think that's how we want all of our input. And for some stuff, it's fine, but for a lot, it just kind of muddies it, and then you start siloing your perspective more and more without even realizing it, because you don't know what you're not searching for, and that's the problem that we're running into now.
This
the
curation
problem.
It's going to be great.
What is
airport maps internal? This is
fuck.
This is now. I know Google has been doing a fair amount of this, like inside building stuff too.
Oh, thank God! Again, something that Android had for a long time, but
something that is pre-existing that they're desperately catching up to.
But something I prefer to have into the built-in default because it's better integrated.
Yeah, I mean, if Apple Maps wasn't toilets, I would use it. Speaking of toilets, CarPlay.
Yep.
It's really not good. Yeah.
To be fair, Toilet Play is something that I would actually totally be on board for.
For sure.
Like a special version of iOS just designed for wasting time while sitting on the toilet.
Right. Yeah, it's just a little cheap touch display that you have right over your toilet roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. I don't need to see those while I'm driving. Or ever.
That's why you're using the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I suppose so.
That's very true. Jokes.
You just get one notification that says everything is fine.
VMKit, if you took a drink every time they talked about a feature that came from Android, you would have been shit-faced like half an hour ago easily.
Yeah.
Or have alcohol poisoning.
And it's like, I mean, the Maps thing isn't something that came from Android. That's something that came from just Google Maps.
Yeah. It came because they didn't want to give that data to Google, which is fair. I kind of don't want to give that to Google either at this point, but
this sound like the auto reply and the ability to actually bypass it if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's been a bunch of stuff lately about that sort of stopping people from texting.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? If a feature's a good idea, everyone should have it.
Yeah. Baking it in where you have to like go through steps to shut it off, like is fine with me. Making everything totally mandatory makes me a little nervous.
That makes me That's where I worry about regulation creeping in.
Right.
And then I'll probably start thinking about jailbreaking.
Right. Well. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say I don't. Yeah. Regulation is not the thing that. Never mind. Sorry.
Another topic for another day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey! Does this not suck?
It might. So far, good.
Multi-room audio for AirPlay devices. Right.
Right, of course.
We want a cut of that Sonos thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody does, because Sonos has done it better than everyone else, but also Sonos is not cheap.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting a feature. We're getting a feature back from 2002.
Yep.
Yeah. Copying from themselves.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Sure, of course.
So presumably it's got some sort of
if
synchronization thing too.
That was a nod to Sonos in the like. So if you already have a Sonos, like you will get these things too. Are they? Oh no.
My friends know not to ask me that.
Dad, no.
what your friends are listening to.
Yeah, that guy's face right there. Yep.
What if my friends suck at music, though?
Right.
Good.
Yep. I would just immediately turn that off.
Yeah.
And then turn it on when I wanted to troll everybody. Except then it would be part of my Apple Music history, and then they would wreck all my suggestions.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that you're angry that your trolling will somehow hurt you.
Well, I mean, you know.
It's like,
sure,
I should
right?
be able to troll without it
Right.
affecting my...
Yeah, exactly. I want to be able to do this without any ramifications for my shitty behavior. The internet, everybody.
Yes. That should be right on a flag for the
Yeah.
internet. Just put a stake in it and push that stake farther through right into iTunes itself.
Do you think Phil's going to make a joke about the unplugging of the App Store?
Yes. Oh, no, Phil, 100%.
Tuck your shirt in, Phil.
Can we have the App Store just not in iTunes?
Wait, when did Phil start playing for Smash Mouth?
He needs those wraparound shades, though.
Yeah.
It's a
And
lot
they
of
were
apps.
all Flappy Bird.
Flappy Fart.
So how much did you make?
30% of that?
Yeah. 60.
No, paid to developers, so...
So it'd be 30 billion to
Yeah.
100 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
30 billion for running the App Store.
noise.
Why are you laughing? Like, it was a cultural touchstone. Like, you don't have to ridicule it. That people were stoked about it before Niantic really
Huge. Yeah.
fucked it up, and then have been kind of walking themselves back from fucking it up since. Mostly true. I mean,
Yeah,
certainly easier than the Android Play.
Their
store.
goals.
Yeah.
They haven't necessarily been reached yet.
Yeah. And I mean the safeness part, trusted.
Yeah, right. But the
Safeness is pretty good, yeah.
The walled garden, sure.
Yeah. Expanded free trials is interesting.
See, but I'm not. Faster app review times, but also how about catching stuff in the review process instead of just rubber stamping the whole thing?
And more
How about a little
clear
more-
guidelines for the review process.
Some more rigorous reviews for, say, large bloated apps like Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do that anyway by country, I guess.
Yeah.
No, VM he totally please clapped.
Oh.
Okay, no.
Oh, I'm so afraid now.
As long as the
And it's
redesign,
all handled by Siri now.
as long as the redesign goes deeper than just the skin.
Right.
So, did Monument Valley 2 just come out?
I guess so.
Oh.
Or they just leaked it.
Oh, that's the most exciting thing about this so far. I'm totally stoked about that.
I don't know. I'm gonna look right now. No.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's a future date.
That's probably the, update it and then it will show up.
Yay?
I'm not a huge fan of this like enormous banner pictures thing.
I mean,
it's like you can only see like 2 things there.
let's be honest. Do we ever touch any of these tabs except for search?
Well,
I do sometimes. I rarely download stuff from them. Usually it's just search, but it is the like, I'm bored. How far can I filter this category?
That's not a game.
So far,
You haven't really changed the fundamental problem with the App Store, which is too much crap
Right.
and not enough good way to filter through it.
yeah, this is all just sort of minor.
You've shuffled the end caps.
yeah.
Yeah, the search is really the area that it's got to be.
One thing I want to point out in this, the women that we have seen have been smiling much more than the men, and
I
like
think-
that is clearly a like, well, you have to smile.
Here's a coaching. Yep.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
So this is obviously some sort of curation.
Yeah.
That's a real person, which is kind of interesting.
So are they?
Oh.
Well, not yet, but yeah. The rollout isn't quite there.
Oh, that stream on Twitch is down now. Oh, and it's back.
Yeah. Jokes.
Crowd is ruthless today.
Yeah. Yeah, the
That was
crowd
like
is
a-
really
that was-
not into any of the like dad jokes at hand.
Yeah, that was like a Phil joke.
Yeah. Jokes.
Wow, this is.
I mean, the problem with the curation thing, goes both ways, right? It's like it then becomes getting the attention to do that, get that cool article or whatever. It's going to be a huge deal.
Well, it's always been the case. Being featured.
Right.
Featured is the
means
thing
that
that, like, although it doesn't necessarily translate into you making money, it just translates into sales.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, especially for small developers, it translates to a lot of copycats.
Yeah.
Which is another issue, but again, as someone in chat said, Kay Pancrazio, signal to noise ratio.
That's
is
always the
issue.
problem, yeah. But on the other hand, like, it's hard to, if you're doing app, reviews, it's hard to reject an app on the grounds that
It's a copy of.
or like, this isn't very fun.
Right.
It's like,
No, for sure, yeah.
so I mean, it seems like it's got to be all about the actual like searching and filtering and stuff, but obviously it's a hard problem.
Wait. I think we just hit. I couldn't tell if that was sincere or not.
I just feel for her, for like the kind of bad, dialogue that she's given to.
It doesn't feel like she's written this for herself.
No.
There were some coached jokes there.
Don't think so? I don't know. I feel, it seems like there's just as much chance that she has corny jokes as anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, they're not any different it's just one of those, like, I'm just noticing, like, yeah.
But I think they
feel more stilted because they're all dads.
I think what happened is they got some good reactions for corny jokes a couple back, and so they started adding, like, we need to add some jokes.
Sure, of course.
Okay, now. Like, it's always interesting seeing the little apps that they come up with, but it's the core technologies that are what actually make new things.
And there's one last thing today, and it's the singularity.
Interesting.
All very exciting.
Yeah.
Makes me super nervous to go. It's in the API. Like, I know it has to be, but
yeah.
I like rectangle detection. Is what those things do.
Yeah.
It's a square. Thanks, phone. Thanks. I have not heard of any of those tools. It's like I'm not part of the machine learning area.
Yeah, it's the data privacy I'm concerned about
I can see
now.
the secure enclave getting a lot bigger on these devices, actually.
Yeah, I mean, which naturally means they will be more of a challenge to repair. But I'll take it. I'll take it if, yeah.
Yeah, these devices are. I'm not saying you should use them this way, but they're designed to be replaced every 2 years and under warranty that entire time.
Yeah.
Can it recognize magic cards? That's what's important.
You'll probably be able to program
Honestly,
it too.
yeah. You could probably, if you really wanted to make an iOS app to do it, you probably could.
Without.
I don't know if that's what you want to spend your time doing, Paul, but
There are already like 5 iOS apps that do it.
right.
But I'm just saying, like, if it's got a new way of doing it,
Oh, yeah.
it's better.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, for sure. Ooh. AR. Bring it. Fake. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah. Shopped.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna
Moon landing. I mean,
It's gonna detect a rectangle.
That's pretty legit.
No, it is. This is honestly, AR is stuff that I think is super cool. I mean, like, I
'Cause
love.
this is,
Like the HoloLens is a thing I am legitimately excited about when there is a version that is not a $3,000 development version.
This is Apple catching up to the rest of the industry, but actually catching up.
Yeah.
So this is good.
But that's the thing is
That's
yep.
because this is
Legit.
like
Pretty good work. Yeah.
the 3DS had this, but you needed the cards to make it work.
Yeah. Someone actually, where was it? I just saw
trackerless.
Kitchen Studios. Yeah. Trackerless AR is a nice touch. Yeah. It's like the trackerless part is
Is the big deal, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very simple demo, but I'm all for it.
Oh, and support for Unity and Unreal is going to be a big deal for game makers to be able to integrate that directly into their apps. Yeah.
So presumably this would also be on Mac.
Possibly. Probably.
Maybe. Pokemon Go thing can look a lot better.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
If they decide
Yeah.
to.
if they cared.
If they don't feel like throwing out all their legacy code for AR.
I mean, honestly, burn it to the ground because it's not great.
But are they?
I don't mean the game. I mean their
I
code.
mean their code.
But also, like, you know, they're working with so much of this hardware siloed off from them that, like, it will get much better much quicker if they
Ooh, okay. Are we gonna get some demos?
Oh,
That is super cool. You know, and then all you have to do then now is then combine that with the HoloLens, like the goggles, instead of doing it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And here we go. There you go.
Oh, maybe they are using it.
No, the
wait,
perspective is not really moving as
It's
the,
not
like,
changing at all as he moves the camera.
Yeah. Well, that camera is over his shoulder, but like it still
It's
is
oh,
incredibly
I see.
stabilized.
That's a weird demo.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know he started an AR company.
It tracks, actually, given how much VR they've been, or not VR, but the compositing they did.
Hmm.
Man, that's yet another spelling of Alistair. I know like 4 people named Alistair, and they're all spelt differently.
Oh, no.
Also, cool technology. Yeah. Oop. This is invisible guy in the corner. Ooh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to say right now, even though this is a pad and not goggles, this is immediately putting that HoloLens demo of Minecraft to shame.
I'm just thinking right now, actually, VR, or not VR, Dungeons and Dragons campaigns
Yeah.
are about to get fucking amazing.
Yep. For sure.
All you need is approximately $5,000 worth of equipment,
Right.
and you're ready for your tabletop.
Yeah, literally everybody needs this amazing, like, new powered iPad.
Conversely, though,
Well, also everyone has to be like this when they're playing.
when everyone shows up to the your game with their phones,
Mm-hmm.
or conversely, when we go do D&D in Studio A, and we just have a locked-off iPad that we're
Yeah.
pulling the video out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soon it will all be integrated into our cerebral
Oh no, the
implants
tiny
and-
men on my table are getting shot.
Oh no! Quickly look away so that they won't die. Oh no, that Why could we have made a bigger table?
That's adorable.
That's pretty legit.
I mean, yes and no. If I'm focused on this, I'm very likely to fall over the couch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, but the nice thing about AR is that at least it doesn't have VR has the problem.
Smalley just said, looking forward to AR Surgeon Simulator.
Yes.
That's terrifying.
Oh,
But it's like VR has the falling over the couch problem. At least with
Yeah.
AR, the couch could be there.
Right. You would see the couch if you weren't backing away from your
Yeah.
table.
This is
Right,
why.
right.
Yeah. So you need the glasses. I think the glasses version of it is much more interesting than like having to hold up the thing. But
For
still,
sure.
the tech is essentially the same though.
Yeah.
Right.
I-
But the glasses are a short step from this. Getting the base AR to work and work well is really the thing that I'm much more concerned with. We'll
Yeah.
get to the glasses. I'm not in
Honestly,
a rush.
I just see this being a very cool streaming tech.
Yeah.
Just
It
lay
could be
it
some-
down on the
Yeah.
table in front of us as we.
That could be a very
Okay.
interesting thing. Yeah.
Okay, you got 20 minutes left.
Quickly pause.
Oh, SMS fraud extension.
Oh, good. So they'll be able to fraud SMSs easier.
I don't think that's
what it means.
yeah.
Shanghainese dictation.
Okay, good. That means you're maybe running slightly. Yeah, they're probably running perfectly on time for them, but you know, yeah.
Didn't know Shanghainese was a term.
The rest of it, I have no feelings
Is
towards.
this tvOS? Or did we already cover that?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
this is the new Pro. This is
Yeah.
going to replace
This-
the 9.7 Pro. And
this is like I'm actually kind of
Yeah.
invested in this.
no, for sure.
In
This
the
is
sense-
something I'm very interested in.
I've been kind of waiting
the
to upgrade. I've been
the
waiting to
form
upgrade my
factor-
iPad,
Yeah,
so
the
I think
form factor on the 12 is enormous, but the sort of default size is great, and having that as a Pro, which is to say something that, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to kill the Mini. Or will they?
I wish they wouldn't, because it's a good form factor,
Yeah.
but I understand that most people have just gone with this size of
Gigantic
phone.
phones. Whoa, that's a pattern.
he's a cool dude. He's got an earring.
Joswiak.
Oh, God. Just... I'm hip because I've buttoned my cuffs, but I've untucked my shirt. You can tell by all of the wrinkles at the bottom from when it was tucked in.
Yeah, he's on brand for Twitch. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Very. Uh-huh. This is supposed to go to a larger screen in this same essential format.
that's-
How much are they going to trim the bezel? Or bezel?
It's going to be this is essentially going to be
Ooh.
Well, I like that they went from white to black, so you can't actually tell the edge of the. Thanks, good job. Yeah,
So 9.7 to 10.10 and a half.
yeah, 10.5. Yeah. Again, good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nobody claps for that because it's terrible.
Yep.
Also, it's the same size as it was.
Yeah,
The outside dimensions haven't
Right.
changed.
right. I don't know why they're like.
The screen size doesn't change.
Yes, applaud the languages, but not the smart keyboard. It's awful.
Is it? I haven't actually used it.
It's not great.
Yeah.
There's a Logitech one, which unfortunately adds a lot of bulk because it's a case and a keyboard, but it's
A
a
real
much
keyboard.
better keyboard.
Ooh. 600 nits. They really don't want you to get into.
This is for when you're laying in bed and you want to disrupt your sleep cycle.
Well, that's what the adaptive white balance is
Right.
for.
Sure.
Or Protion.
It means
Hey, promotion.
yeah.
A
It
thing that
means
people don't get much these
talking
days.
about stuff that we want to tell you about.
Oh, 120
Oh,
hertz
no.
or riot.
Oh no.
Oh shit! Are they putting motion flow in?
Oh my God.
Good thing we don't have
Okay.
you don't have to have a riot. That's good.
Yeah. Promotion. Just
Ooh.
People can't see more than 30 frames a second, so why does it matter?
I mean, yeah, that dramatic difference is all your stuff looks out of sync with your video now. That actually is
Oh, yeah, it's
Right, because now you have twice as many cycles to read for yeah.
Yeah, and a lower latency.
That is a small number of milliseconds.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But what's the next one? Like, what's Wacom's latency?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 24? Is it 30? Is it
that matters though?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hey. What? 48 for no? 24 should.
For Kong, I'm sure it's 48.
No, it is 48 for Kong.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah, it should be 24 for the film.
I know that they're trying to. Right. Wingnut insisted.
God, can you imagine a world where Kubrick was still alive and doing demos on the iPad on an Apple stage?
Do you think he would do it? Because
if Steve was alive, maybe.
Okay, that's a fair point. Now all I can think of is a world in which David Lynch would agree to do demos, but would not agree to let them control the content of his demos.
God, an AR version of Twin Peaks would just be...
I have to look at it compared to the prior generation rather than just the here is this with no context.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to keep marching ahead with their chip design.
I know. I mean, it has to be if you're pushing twice the refresh rate.
Yeah. I think part of it actually was also that they...
Running the same resolution display? Yeah, how much faster is it on the display it actually has?
To be honest, I think what happens is they just needed to find something to do with the graphics power that they were in, because all the game developers are targeting 3 generations back to get the maximum amount of users.
Of course, yeah. But if they push this and then there's an AR push for all of this stuff, then...
There is that thing where it's like when you start getting to AR, like VR, of course, requires double the frame rate and double the resolution.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So...
Right.
He's got the big one there, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe he doesn't. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle.
Wow, look at how fast you can draw on the new iPad. It's amazing.
No, I think this is just the new, 10.5 inch.
Is it?
Yeah.
It looks large, but maybe not.
It looks large, but he could also be a smaller
man.
Dude. We don't really have,
It's true.
We don't have Tim next to him for scale, is what I'm saying.
Hold a banana.
Yeah, except only one part looks good.
Yeah, I mean...
More than that, I mean, I can't tell.
Or you could, have it on a keyed background. Sure, whatever. That's actually not... I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
That's good.
Yeah. Just nowhere to put it on the iPad or store it properly. But, design.
It's kind of cool.
No, it is. I mean, it's Molly pointed out this is just image manipulation stuff. They're just showing off that it is fast.
Well, and it's also the UI aspect of
the pencil is integrated in for sure.
Yeah, the actual stuff going on in the screen is less exciting, but
yeah. But they do very much try to present it like, hey, this is all our stuff.
Like, this is basically what I would expect from any modern professional graphic.
Yeah, image manipulation software.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, doing this on an iPad is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like,
straight up, we're talking Photoshop levels.
I mean, if
I don't know if I
this
want to Photoshop
actually-
on my
right.
iPad, but apparently it's
Right.
possible.
Well, roughed.
Also, really,
And
can
that's
we-
how we made the
Yeah.
poster for Pirates of the
I'm with
Caribbean.
Addy. I'm with Addy and other folks in chat. We really don't need Johnny Depp. Come on, can we not?
Just
feature, yeah.
Just yesterday, I retweeted a retweet that was retweet this if the presence of Johnny Depp makes you apprehensive of seeing a movie.
Yeah, I'm
I'm-
significantly less interested at this point.
Than that iPad, yeah.
I mean, not the iPad,
Oh,
just
yeah.
that. I mean, I know that
general.
this is all licensing garbage.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, Molly. I was thinking exactly that. Still amazed at the lens.
Wait,
they
but
did
it's a
on those
single
things.
lens. It's not a dual, right?
Yeah.
Because it's from the 7, not the 7 Plus. Yeah.
Dude.
I'm not saying that it needs portrait mode because holding up the iPhone to
A lunch tray to take pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever used the camera for on my iPad is video conferencing stuff.
it's actually pretty good for that, especially for the fact that you can walk around with it and or put it on one of those
But-
telepresence.
Oh,
But there's no way of not looking dumb.
okay.
Wait,
Still Lightning in the bottom, but USB 3 is a protocol.
so it's a Lightning connector, but it's
USB 3 on the other
on
end.
the.
And C, I guess, as well.
Interesting.
They're not ready to ditch Lightning yet.
I mean, just
It's a tough one.
well, I mean, the connector is thinner, I guess.
Mhm.
You know, which I understand, but I don't know what their their ceiling is on the bandwidth of how they've designed their, you know,
Yeah, their connector.
yeah. And they keep pushing for that whole super thin, super thin, super thin.
Yep.
Oh, there's the rose gold.
But this is
That's good.
unlike
Yeah, they fucking should.
Finally.
They should have, you know, when they came out.
unlike, for example, the iMac. The weight and size of this does actually matter.
Blah, blah. Yeah, but why would you? Well, I guess you could. Whatever.
So it goes from
Half a
64 to
to 256, which is actually great. That's where I would wind up. Where previously I would be like, no, I need to go to the highest because it's so little. But
Now it's mid is fine.
oh, are they shipping now? Well,
Have we not?
what else? Right, we're here to tell you about how there's no more iPad Mini.
That's an iOS 11 feature.
Yep. I love lamp.
Buckle up, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up.
Oh shit.
I'm ready.
Could we
It's
not
3
say next
terabytes.
level? We're done with that. Oh, so the dock is more like,
The Mac dock.
yeah. Well, it should be. It's a bigger screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
You should have no
Yeah.
limit of, well,
yeah, if you're operating off your same core, you should be, yeah.
this is good.
This is a good change to the interface.
Okay, curious.
Yes,
That's
good.
good.
That's
It's
cool.
a simplified version of Mac OS now. This is correct. This is yeah.
Good.
Sweet.
This is rapidly
Yeah.
become their version of the stripped down Windows for yeah.
The real question,
I keep
this is
forgetting
what I'm curious
RT,
about.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's RT. Yeah.
How, this is the important part. How do you get information between the apps? Okay. maybe.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
It seems like something that would be handy for iPhones too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're talking about the iOS, but yeah, I don't know what. Yes!
Wait,
Finally!
is this only an iPad though?
Oh, it better not be. I mean, they're out talking iPad, but
So we're finally going back. We're
Yeah.
finally getting a real file system.
Good. Good.
all right, but is it siloed? Is it siloed? Can I drag shit from my cloud to my music?
I think we're gonna get an answer. Ooh,
I don't
yes,
think we're
yeah,
gonna get
no.
a fucking answer on that.
No, not-
I want that
yeah.
answer, but it's a dock. We know how. Yeah.
Yes, good. Please.
It's interesting. It's not actually. Yeah, it didn't actually split screen. It was sort of an overlay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, that's
yeah,
legit.
That's pleasing.
But what happens if you keep swiping?
Yeah.
You
It
must
just
stop
keeps
swiping
pulling
at
back.
some
It's-
point.
Yeah. It's what is it? That old IBM
Powers of
Powers of
10.
10. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Da, 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 da,
Can you
da,
drag
da.
an image? Ah.
Good.
Now, can you drag an image between two Safari windows?
Mm. Will
That
it
would
let
be
you-
very
Will
interesting.
it let you multitask Safari?
You can. You can do that
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
You can have two Safari windows. That's very interesting, actually. The multi-selection is kind of
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
that's good.
They're-
That's good input
Well,
processing.
they're
right there.
figuring out how to make this interface work.
Molly is suggesting that Eagle is drone protection for the new campus.
Okay, here we go.
All right,
File
okay,
time.
okay. So, jokes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh. It's good interface design.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good multi-touch interface design.
Yeah.
It obviously is not. I mean, it's not ideal if you're dealing with disability needs.
No. But I'm sure they've got something
They-
set up in their accessibility.
Yeah, they just never show it.
Yeah. It'd be
And
nice
I
if
wish that they would at least acknowledge that, like, hey, we did this, and this is easy if you have full control. But if you,
Especially since they're generally industry leading in terms of their
Yeah.
accessibility. It'd be nice to see them tout that
Yeah.
a bit more.
I think the whole eagle thing is a reference to, I think it was the French training eagles
Yeah.
as anti-drone.
Apparently they're not bad at it.
I mean, yeah, if you train them, hey, murder this thing and we'll feed you, you know. Eagles aren't bright, but they're hungry.
Last resort is take off and fly away.
No, I think that's actually just final plan.
Now, what would be really cool is if you could add as a source in the files thing like just this SMTP or just a SMB server,
Yeah.
like on your local network.
Yeah.
That would
I wonder
be
if that's
super
possible.
exciting.
Yeah.
We'll see about that, but I get the feeling it is going to be a siloed area of its own.
Well, not necessarily. It could be something that requires you to pay the $100 to get the Mac OS server
Edition, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll ever be able to touch your music.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's no way that I feel like they would feature that if that was a thing you could do, but also I feel like they're still not going near that because of
DRM. But also I think it's part to do that I don't think you're supposed to put your music on your phone anymore. You're supposed to stream it.
Just stream it over your bandwidth that you pay for, which is no.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Good job.
Mm.
Very good.
It's good. I remember Evernote had that.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very important stuff. Like, this is very good. Yeah.
Is there new Notes app?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Hmm.
Can it fax things?
Hey, that's important. I mean,
I know. I have a program on my phone that I use about 3 times a year to fax things.
Because there's some places that
or
still
email
need to fax.
things that people faxed away.
And for folks in the U.S., it's because faxing your representatives is pretty easy, and being able to do it like that instead of calling and speaking to a human is nice for those of us who hate phone calls.
They should have we've trained this on the writing of 200,000 doctors.
Those pants are very trim.
It's got the
you
same
can just
tuck,
see
shirt
this
tuck
huge
thing.
bulge of the phone in the pocket against the yeah. They all have a uniform, and it's the generic dress shirt and jeans, because we don't want to be too formal, because that'll put off those of us who aren't dressing up.
If this is anything like how Evernote does it, it's kind of interesting in that it doesn't actually, it's not actually doing OCR in the same way, because every word is can actually represent multiple different words.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's different here, especially, is that this is all happening on device, whereas Evernote,
it was on its own servers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. I feel like being the daughter of one of the head people at Apple kind of makes that unfair as a project.
Sure. Yeah.
Did your dad help you with this app report?
Yeah. I mean,
and then use it for part of the keynote presentation.
I
for
imagine
WWDC.
those schools are a little saturated with people who, with
That's
kids
true.
whose parents work at Apple. Yeah. It's like, here's your homework assignment. No Apple devices.
Oh no.
Clearly you didn't
Right. Oh shit.
Like,
Well,
that's
there's
cool,
the AR at work.
Yep.
that's legit.
Super into that.
Although,
Oh,
to be fair, I feel like he just violated the NDA by showing us that whole
The
the
thing.
NDA, yeah.
Well, I mean, it was written by an 8-year-old.
God, It's so scripted, it hurts. Yes!
Okay, that's another app I can remove.
No, that's real good.
Yeah.
Can it help with that thing where
Oh,
my
God.
Hello, Skitch.
Yeah, I mean...
I missed you.
This is beautiful.
Can it help?
Again, I know that they are just integrating other...
Yeah. My
Can it
problem
help?
is that I have tons of pictures of my home screen because I pushed the button by
Yeah.
mistake. So my photo thing is filled with just pictures of my home screen.
Yeah. Now what happens is you do that, and then they've licensed Clippy, so Clippy pops up and goes, "It looks like you're trying to take a screenshot of your home screen. Did you intend to do that?"
Looks like you've been funded $100 million in your round one. Would you like to buy a kegerator for your new office?
Actually, yes. I need to talk to you about a
Okay.
kegerator, but for kombucha, not
Right.
for... Yeah.
Kombucharator.
Yeah. It's still a keg, it's just
Yeah.
kombucha, not beer. Wait, all of these devices? Which devices? All of the devices we just showed you? So the devices you can buy today,
All of this iPad
but all
Pro.
your other shit go to hell? Like... Ah, fire your writers!
I mean,
Come on.
technically speaking,
no,
it's always going to a new level.
It's a new revision. It's not a... Just... Was that not like
It was
a
the most
gaming
trite,
trite
yeah.
thing from like the Sega versus PlayStation era?
I think like whole new level
right,
was
this is
even
their ad.
before video game stuff.
Yeah, I think so, but it's still...
I want to know where that elevator is. Looks like Germany.
She's sitting
I'm
there.
a rebel by buying a device sold by one, like arguably one of the largest companies in the entire world.
That woman was sitting there in a very busy cafe, occupying a table to
Yeah.
work on her iPad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my experience walking
Inappropriate.
into a cafe is everybody on their Apple devices taking up all the outlets and not drinking coffee or, buying things.
Well, the good news is 10 hours of battery life,
Right.
not taking up an outlet.
But that doesn't explain the guy with the 27-inch iMac running World of Warcraft on a table in a Starbucks.
No, but World of Warcraft explains that.
Yes.
And
Ooh. Good pivot.
all right. Oh, fuck.
Come on.
Kill it.
Forced tune.
No.
Okay, but how are you making it not bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, we're not at the new thing.
Okay, just...
Stop
Come on,
wanking
Tim.
and get to the release.
Oh, this is the
Siri speaker, yeah.
Yeah, that speaker is about to get shopped out.
Mm.
Boop.
Music you taste with your finger.
Oh.
Phil,
Oh, Phil.
tell him how it's done.
I think Phil is the most authentic dad in these outfits.
Oh, he
'Cause,
is.
like, he's wearing, like...
I feel like this is not actually.
Sneakers. Yeah.
I don't think he has actually been like coached in his look.
No,
like he probably wears this actually at the office.
Right.
Phil
He
has
slots
been
into
exactly like this for decades.
And everyone is like, look more like Phil.
Oh. We're better than everybody because we have all the fucking money in the world to throw at R&D.
I mean,
they do.
But they're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm
glad
fair,
that they're doing it.
That's not a bad reason.
It's hard to make a product you're proud of and be humble at the same time.
No. Yeah, I agree. It's a fine line, but yeah.
But still, saying things like reinventing stationary music is kind of...
Yeah. Free from distortion. That's not true. There's distortion in all amps.
Yep.
Like, that is what total harmonic distortion... Spatial awareness, though, is...
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, the reports
Listen, I mean, if Apple goes, hey, all that whole better sound through research garbage that Bose talks about, what if we actually used research?
Like, they were talking about 17 tweeters to adjust for spatial awareness. Could be good. But
is musicologist a word?
Oh, hey, we took the Mac Pro and made it
into a donut. Yeah, donuts.
We already had that.
I know. I just
the old remember the old like weird jellyfish speaker thing that
the Harman Kardon? Yeah.
Fair.
I love to like put my hand in that in Apple stores in the sub.
I had to shake a dead fly out of one of those once.
It's a fuzzy cube.
Yeah, it is. They totally
a fuzzy cylinder.
Yeah. I dig it.
Our manufacturing process for the Mac Pro is really kind of stalled out, so we're using it to make speakers now. Yay!
That's interesting.
Cool people.
Choice.
Yeah, that. You mean in all the ways we can't use our existing software to listen to our music?
Thankfully, AirPlay is a thing that...
Seamless 3D mesh fabric.
Come on, man. Read that teleprompter. See, this is why you want it at eye level. Yeah. So you don't have to keep...
But he's definitely trying to keep his eye on the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
As a proper
and that's
speaker.
why it's like you... Well, I mean, you don't have to be on the crowd. You just need to be into the crowd.
Yeah.
And just have your teleprompters,
at the eye level.
Right. Right, because you're... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your podcasts are going to sound so great.
Now, how much?
Audio beamforming. Does it like track you around the room and broadcast the audio at you?
Yeah, I don't know.
How? Like lasers?
Sonar, probably.
It uses high frequency.
Yeah.
Sonar.
There are other
I mean, yeah,
speakers that do
basically.
this. Like
what
there's
it sounds
Yamaha
like,
speaker bars.
Sonos does it using your phone. Again, I mean, the only...
Can it ventriloquist? Like... sound coming from different places in the room.
I mean, the
That'd
thing
be
about
cool.
this is just that, like, even though it's Internet of Things, it at least is in their encryption tech. You know, it's in their silo
because of the way
versus using a Chinese chip that you cannot update.
Yeah.
That is
At least
easily hacked.
At least with Apple stuff, you know, it's
Right.
it's being locked down.
Right.
Has
And
the
chances
advantage
are-
of it probably not having some
Right.
random, unsecured server on
Right.
the default
At the
stuff.
very least, they're building in firmware updates. You know, their firmware update system, so that they can close some of those in software, which is a thing that, right, again, when you're buying cheap stuff,
Well, and
when
they're-
you're building your systems. Like,
also their idea of keeping everything on device rather
Right.
than sharing it back to a server.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's bouncing it off the wall.
I get that they have to try to break this down for us, but like the audio sort of mix structure thing.
This is one of those things you have to hear.
Right.
In order to,
Yeah, and obviously this stream is not the best place to hear it.
No. I mean, that's also why all these people are just kind of like, okay,
And it seems cool.
who's the woo person there? Yeah,
Johnny Iovine?
maybe. I think he's probably just complaining that it doesn't look as good as, you know, and also it has a cable. Both of those are wired.
Yeah. 2.
Oh dear.
It's true. You can't prove it's not a musicologist.
Hey Siri, play Sekai wo Sore o Aito wa Bundaze.
The only option I found is Milfiore spot on Muir Street. Is that one
Well,
good?
so it's trying to take me to a restaurant now, so that's nice.
The best rated
So yeah,
one
it's got 6 microphones.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. I mean, this is why everyone was calling it a Siri speaker
Yeah.
when they were getting the leaks.
Play hardcore punk.
No.
No. Oh. Dads, no. Come on, Apple dads. I mean, the fundamental issue here is like, of course, this is all just integrated into Apple Music, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that they will just completely cut out like hooking into, you know, Spotify or Pandora or anything, but it's still.
Does it have any smarts outside of that?
What kind of smarts are you looking for?
More of the sort of integration you get with Alexa and the Echo, being able to search the internet to get just random pieces of information, set timers, help out with, here we go, home assistance. Well, hopefully, reading out recipes.
Yeah, HomeKit.
So yeah, it looks like it's got all this stuff too.
Oh, stocks. That's totally
That's
relevant
always
to
useful.
all of us. Right, which is cool.
Hey, Siri,
and
light
and
switch
I do.
rave.
I mean, we have lights that are part of HomeKit, and that gets used extensively. But
now the amazing feature would be, can you say, hey Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes, and then when the timer goes off, you say, hey Siri, stop the timer.
Yeah.
Because right now you can't.
Is there a button?
Yeah, like right now on my phone, I can set the timer,
Yeah.
but you have to actually go over to the phone and hit it to turn it off.
Right.
What? You wanna make something
Like it
about
just it, as a stream of consciousness. I'm home. It's movie time.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
I'm so
Yeah.
lonely.
As much as all of this stuff is cool, there is also a point where I worry that we will become, I don't remember the species from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but where we just say everything out loud, like it's the equivalent of them, being telepathic and reading each other's thoughts all the time nonstop, and so you have to constantly talk about stupid stuff to avoid your brain working. Like, if this is just going to train us to like
Say everything.
not have inner dialogue anymore.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I do like.
So they are sending some things too.
Well, I mean, Siri has always been cloud-based, right?
Yeah. Please don't say you need to combine those.
So it's going to be less than that.
200? 300.
Uh-huh.
That's
It
about.
was not going to be under 300.
That's
if they
actually
were
pretty
pitching you at
reasonable.
Yeah.
That's comparable with like a Sonos or something.
Well,
Like
so
the high,
339
the big chunk.
US. I mean, the base Sonos is 200, and then that is, I think, with their comparable with their mid-range, which is the 3, I think. Which, again, I'm not convinced without hearing it in person.
Yeah, about $500
As far as
Canadian.
like the
I mean, given what the iPod Hi-Fi sounded like, I trust that they'll put out something that will sound
I'm not
great.
saying it'll sound terrible, but it's still their demonstration of those things.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
You need to see an actual demonstration.
Yeah, when was the speaker?
December.
Of course.
In America, the UK, and Australia.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Give us an excuse to come down.
Yeah.
Did it say when iOS 11's out?
It's going to be with the iPhone,
Yeah.
the new iPhones, clearly. It's the Apple Store. I was opening it up to be like, oh, can you get those iPads right
Yeah,
now?
it's
Because they're
all
like
closed.
available today. And it's like, well, no.
They're working on it.
First, we're going to crash the store,
Yep.
and then by the time you get to the store, yeah,
And somehow we're going to keep iTunes.
Hmm.
Somehow.
yeah, we're still keeping iTunes and Apple Music. I wish I could just drag my music shit into iTunes. But if you can drag around, you should be able to drag your cloud stuff from, storage to like VLC on a device. Just basically sidestepping a lot of the document moving that you would normally need a computer to do on the iPad. So that'd
be the hope, yeah.
That part's legit, but the music thing still aggravates
you
me
want.
because
It's how you
well, part of it too is so I have some stuff where back when they initially started the iTunes Match, that I did that and it wrecked my whole library, and my library is still wrecked from that because I had a lot of anime and video game soundtracks and things that were not on the store, and it just went, oh well, this kind of matches this other thing, so
So it
now
must
we're
be
gonna
that.
we're gonna relabel it as this and that. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it's like, so my actual like cloud is all mucked by that.
feel like...
Is Michelle Obama going to tell us about the new file system?
Doing the job that her successor is not doing. We get it. I know. I was just throwing shade on, like...
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with the Obamas throwing as much shade as they want, really.
Listen, I am too. I just, that is completely what that... Yeah. I mean, it's not that she doesn't believe in that, and I'm not bagging on her for that. I'm just, it's very clear that, that sort of... That kind of an event, that kind of a, presence is a thing that the current First Lady is just not doing. Mm-hmm. Period. And, I mean, that's a whole other... I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop.
Well, I say I'm in favor of Michelle Obama replacing Bono and the whole Apple thing.
Yeah, yes, actually, that's a fantastic point.
I would be interested in a U2 concert with Michelle Obama replacing Bono.
Bono? Yeah, for sure.
And by U2 conference, I mean just anything.
Yep.
Also, Barack Obama standing up, going to governmental dinners and stuff with Bono would be pretty funny, too. All in all, just switch places.
If the Obamas just want to do a cover of Joshua Tree, I would be happy with that.
I'm into that.
I have walked.
Yep.
I have run.
Listen, there have been way worse things done by people who are politicians as far as making albums. So yeah.
Anyway, that was our that was not our keynote. That was Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference 2017 keynote.
So this is we did this the one for the previous keynote. So it's fun. Actually, coming up probably whenever it is. I think next week or week or two. When E3 is going to hit, we're going to be doing a similar thing for some of the press conferences that don't interfere with other things we're doing. But in that case, we will actually be able to show you the video because they're set up a little bit differently.
That's some good business. I'm looking forward to that.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get some people talking, some commentary to get the hot takes from the Loading Ready Run crew.
As they happen. Do we have any final thoughts here on this, or should we just move on?
People there's always the this is the most disappointing thing ever, which is obviously not true.
No.
This is actually
there's a lot here. It's just there's not a lot of flash to what they show.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that again, the writers for this were really. Yeah, just no. Just no.
It was.
Bee's just mad about laptops.
Well, I mean, but that's, and I also understand that because usually the refresh on those laptops is longer than 6 months, slightly more than 6. I guess it's 8 months technically, but I get that. Because they went, here's the laptop, and then it's oh, hey, we didn't have those processors yet. Now those processors are in the laptop. So, the ones that are out now are technically the ones that they intended to release with the touch bar. And that's not great, but, but it also is a thing we kind of knew was coming because they weren't in them yet.
Yeah. The speaker is interesting, but it'll be interesting. I'm more interested to see what it's going to do with Siri.
Speaker is interesting, but fundamentally, none of us are going to see anything about that until December. Basically, until they're in stores, and we can go in and listen to it in stores. And even then, it's not going to be a great listening experience because they have all that other stuff in the stores, unless they just outfit the entire store with them.
Well, to me, the least interesting thing about that speaker is what we know it does right now.
I'm what else does it do? Yeah, which is also, I feel, a thing that doesn't get revealed until iOS 11. And then that's the other question is, what OS is that running?
Yeah.
Is it a spin-off of tvOS, or is it just pure iOS, or is it just a thing that we have no access to other than firmware updates?
A lot of that's going to get revealed over the course of the week at WWDC, but we're not going to be privy to it because what we just watched is the high level for the public.
Yeah. We'll learn more about that as people write more about it.
We'll have to know more about what SiriKit is actually doing now and what the the deep learning
Deep
actually
learning.
means.
Deep learning. Sorry.
Yeah, Coriolis. So I too was kind of annoyed by the iMac Pro. From what I understand, that's not the new Mac Pro.
That is
Right,
not,
it's a stopgap. They have. I think Tim Cook has actually already talked about how they're revisiting the Mac Pro after talking to professional users and all that, and that this iMac Pro is a stopgap. We want to get something out there for people who need to refresh their Mac systems and don't want to bounce to a PC in their interim or work on what they like. Because you guys have one of the Mac Pros in the editing bay, and that's ancient at this point as far as. You know, I mean, like, it's not like it's falling apart, but just like you can't. There's nothing like the video card. There's nothing about that.
And we can't do anything
really
about it.
Push forward.
Like, honestly, we could upgrade the cheese grater Mac easier than we could the trash can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2 most powerful computers: the cheese grater and the trash can. The iMac Pro is a little weird. And it is kind of continuing what I see as a slightly somewhat unfortunate sort of trend that Apple is on, and same with the old, I mean, they're not talking about it anymore, but like the Mac Minis, which I used to be I was into the Mac Mini, and I only switched over to, like, I have a Windows computer at home now because I wanted a new Mac Mini and they wouldn't update it.
They're so slow about rolling this forward.
But but just the idea that they're putting such, frankly, amazingly impressive engineering knowledge and work behind fitting components and the thermal envelope into, but the constraint that they've given themselves is entirely arbitrary.
Right.
Nobody cares if their desktop computer is a pound heavier than it was before.
But Joni Ive does.
Yes.
I mean, what's happening is just we're seeing that same siloing approach that they have had for their software applied to hardware on a scale that they normally would not be able to do. But because of iOS, because of the iPhone and what it has done to their bottom line, they have so much more money to sink into doing those things than when they were making Mac Pros that were ostensibly just like a PC with, PCI slots and etc. Like, they have so much more money to funnel into that research now than they did, and they're clearly doing it, which is like chasing their vision of all of this stuff. And again, I don't like that stuff, but I feel like if they do a decent job with it, and the Pro is really, the new design of the Pro is going to tell us a lot about how much they're willing to give when they are taking so much, because professional users are where they have to concede that stuff. For home users, on their end, I think it is generally smart to condense all of those things and then just be like, here's an unbelievably fast data port that you can do all the things you want to do from. But professional users are not that way.
No, they need a different class of hardware.
And so that will tell us a lot. Unfortunately, the iMac Pro doesn't tell us much of that. It's just like,
it is very much a stopgap measure.
Right.
Like if we didn't have the and that's presumably that's why they talked about it. If we didn't have that sort of window into the idea that the Mac Pro isn't going away and there's going to be like a new thing or whatever, and if there was no communication and that was the communication, I would be very much more annoyed.
Anyone who's on the fence would have gone the other way.
If that hadn't already,
I would be like, okay,
out.
I guess we're not doing that anymore. We have to, get a Hackintosh or whatever.
But for businesses that are, this is a reassurance for them that they have something that they can use, and that something is actually coming later.
No, I mean, there are a lot of things in there, like the new the new features with iPad Pros and the refresh and kind of changes to responsiveness with the pencil and blah, blah, blah. All of those things are exciting. I think if I have to pick anything, it's a distillation to a single line in the AR stuff, and that single line is the support for Unity and Unreal. Like, that's the thing that I find most exciting, because
that's going to open it up to everyone.
Yeah, because it means that people who work in Unity can port their stuff over to it easier. Well, it means that we'll see a flood of
It makes that
people,
phrase that they use, that they now have the world's largest AR platform.
Right.
It actually puts weight behind that.
And that's actually one of the things that, Apple does get a lot of flack, as people. I mean,
the past 2 hours.
We talked about it, and people in the chat talked about it. Apple gets a lot of flack for the sort of like, hey, we came up with this amazing new idea that other people have. But the difference with Apple is that because they've got, because of their whole infrastructure, and especially because they've got the, they made fun of it, but it's true, the like 87% penetration on their new OS and stuff. They can do things. It's like as soon as Apple goes, let's do this, suddenly they're the biggest. Basically, it doesn't matter what they do. Whatever they do, suddenly they're the biggest platform of that thing.
That's right.
And that's a big deal, especially like if you're somebody who works in AR, or if you're somebody who works on whatever. It's huge. It becomes a big deal.
Yeah, it's a motivator for you to develop for it. And it also explains why Apple is not always first out of the gate with some of that stuff. Because if you consider it, they're aware of, we have this huge platform, and if we put this out, we have to make sure it works, or it will, or we'll never hear the end of it. And that's certainly happened to them before. But yeah, I mean, the AR, I think the thing that's interesting there is just about, like, that immediately pushes it. Like, okay, so there's AR, and there's AR in a bunch of stuff, but if it's in their sort of unified base and it has that, again, that one line is really what I'm thinking about. If it means that developers who work in Unity have this thing to plug into the Apple market, right, and Unreal Engine, developers, same thing, then you immediately have this huge base that you have access to, and you have this potential for all of them to get, which means, again, that little demonstration, and that everybody and that all of chat was just like, so D&D?
Like it's, at that point...
That's, I mean, also, God, if anyone from Wizards has been paying attention to that, like, I mean, you gotta get on that.
Yeah, well, possibly right now, or this coming week, or whatever, Wizards is doing a huge D&D stream push. Like, they've invited a whole bunch of like big D&D people to their thing, and we were actually.
I just mean with the AR more. I know, but
of the, like, we were actually just looking at their. They've like totally redone their. They've got a whole very, very fancy D&D streaming setup now.
Right.
That James and I were looking, because they were broadcasting, and James and I were looking at it, and it was very impressive. I mean, of course, they have like a dozen people or so behind the scenes.
Right. They have some They have some experience with presentation and that sort of stuff, and then they also have that equipment from all. I mean,
Pro Tour. I remember everybody said that about the like Microsoft Surface, that it's like, oh man, this is going to be awesome for D&D.
Yeah, and but so it's like, how much was that?
Right.
It was what, so like there's $7,000 USD on the low end. I think. Yeah, this is very different than an iPad that theoretically, you could have, and
or
like
we have.
Yeah, well, and like you pointed out that like that you can, where you were thinking of it for streams, and that you just plug it in and use that as the feed, so that it's got all this stuff overlaid over.
But you've got a 4K camera on the back.
Right, but even if you're talking about a group playing D&D, if one of you has it and you have a television, like, you still can
you let the
project it to everyone. Right.
Yeah, it becomes beautiful.
Yeah.
The other thing about this, to me, is that you're looking at a case of it being a rising tide lifting all ships. And the minute Apple has made this a platform that people can go into and start making money, that means that any other company that puts out a device that has AR suddenly has a lot of content that can be slotted onto it, and the whole industry benefits.
And when you're talking Unity and you're talking, Unreal Engine, then it all works.
Right.
It's not whatever Apple proprietary.
My thought was
not
just
QuickTime
like,
VR again.
as much as I'm excited about the HoloLens, because it's a wearable and all of that. At the same time, it's like Apple going, we're doing AR, is a huge boost to people's perception of AR as as a thing that people are interested in, even if it is just Apple deciding we're now going to step into this. That causes that wave of people, of small developers to be like, all right, I can get in on this, or it's time for me to spend time on this.
It's like I said before, that it's Apple catching up, but catching up seriously and saying we're catching up and we're building momentum to be a leader in the industry here.
And I'm also glad that the VR stuff is there, even if I still don't think, the barrier to entry for good VR experiences, while it is not the highest I've ever seen, it's not low enough. It's not like the AR where it's like the device that you have, this doofy thing is an AR device. Like, this is not a VR device as much as the goggles or any of the other stuff. Like, it's just not how you're going to get into it. And for Apple to have that, like, I think that their utility for it is that scenario of a level designer using it to get a better perspective on the art they're creating.
Very smart of Apple to focus on the developers side of things today and the people making things, because it's
going to be several revisions before the base iMacs are iMacs that can seriously power VR.
Right now, the consumer is a core PC gamer, and they are not buying. First of all,
they're
not buying Macs.
They're not going
at
anywhere
all.
near that, right? And that's but the thing is like with them seeding it to developers in that and starting to bank on it in a couple generations of hardware revisions, then there will be a VR kit that is more akin to Apple's aesthetic.
When Apple steps into the business of selling VR and selling their headset, then it's become a consumer technology.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm probably straight up gonna get a new buy one of the iPad Pros.
Pretty cool.
Because I use my iPad all the time, and it's a huge. My current iPad is a Gen 1 iPad Air. Ooh. So it's a pretty big. I was looking at upgrading pretty soon, and that's looking like what I want. So I'm pretty excited about that.
It looks really good. I mean, the refresh rate was a huge surprise to me.
120 hertz. That's and dynamic too.
Yeah, the dynamic
so many hertz.
Is very exciting.
Hertz so good.
I unfortunately have to jet here in order to get to an actual job.
Oh, and the checkpoint is coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna be at checkpoint. So
right?
Yeah. So let's do a quick welcoming of subs.
I will jump out. But thanks so much, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Ian.
Everyone.
Yep. I'll see you tonight for Tinker Tailor.
And see you tonight for Tinker Tailor.
Yay. And I wonder if this will work. Does it? No, it doesn't, because of various other things. All right. But let's see who has subbed. Oh, it wants me to put it in. Okay. This is not the most recent. Oh, I see. Because our sub-listing thing from Lurbots appears to be having issues. Sorry, everyone. Possibly that's why the storm count hasn't updated when it was supposed to. Oh, no. No. All right. Okay, here's what we're going to have to do. I'll have to go offline now, but for checkpoint, we'll have to make sure that we will go back and talk and welcome all the previous subs as well. Sorry, everyone. But thank you to all you awesome people who did sub during this during the presentation. and we will be Oh, and yeah, as mentioned, checkpoint is not going to be at 1 o'clock, as in 15 minutes from now.
Right.
We're going to try to do it for 2 o'clock. I didn't expect that to go as long as it did. I thought it was like an hour and a half, maybe.
There was a lot more in there than, yeah.
All right. My message was based on UP. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Come back to us. I don't know if there's any way for me to find out what the subs were other than our internal system. I don't think Twitch regularly actually does a thing for it. I'm sorry, Vera. But, anyway, we will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye.
See you.